Before shocking us with the image of an older guy holding a water gun, Leonardo DiCaprio had already made millions of young hearts swoon as the charming Jack Dawson in a tear-jerking love story. But it wasn't just Leonardo. Many iconic romantic movies from the 70s, 80s, and 90s left us spellbound. Join us for part 1 as we take a nostalgic journey back to the leading men and women who captured our hearts on the big screen. What if Cupid's arrows could time travel back to the 70s, 80s, and 90s? We're betting they would extremely fall in love and romance because of these iconic movie stars. Let's get back our memory to Titanic. This movie is a blockbuster hit from December 19, 1997, featuring Leonardo DiCaprio as Jack Dawson. DiCaprio was 23 at that time, born on November 11, 1974, and is now 49. Although more than 25 years have passed since he rose to fame with that classic movie, and his appearance has changed somewhat, one thing has remained the same: Leonardo's taste in girlfriends. Kate Winslet played Rose. At the time, she was 22 years old, born on October 5, 1975, in Reading, England. She is now 48. Another famous movie that we want to tell you is Pretty Woman, which hit theaters on March 23, 1990, with Richard Gere and Julia Roberts in the lead roles. Richard Gere played Edward Lewis, and at the time he was 40 years old, born on August 31, 1949, in Philadelphia. He is now 74 years old. Julia Roberts played Vivian Ward. She was 22 years old in 1990, born on October 28, 1967, in Smyrna, Georgia, and she is now 56 years old. Do you remember Valley Girl? It was released on April 29, 1983, starring Nicolas Cage and Deborah Foreman. In the film, Nicolas Cage plays Randy. At the time, Cage was 19 years old, born on January 7, 1964. He is now 60 years old. Deborah Foreman portrayed Julie. She was 20 years old in 1983, born on October 12, 1962, and is now 61 years old. The famous The Bodyguard that most of us gonna known was released on November 25, 1992, featuring Kevin Costner as Frank Farmer. Kevin was 37 when the film came out, born on January 18, 1955, in Linwood, California, and is now 69. Whitney Houston played Rachel Marin. She was 29 years old when the movie was released, born on August 9, 1963, in Newark, New Jersey. Whitney passed away at the age of 48. The romantic movie The Way We Were was released on October 19, 1973, with Barbra Streisand as Katie Morosky. Streisand was 31 years old back then, born on April 24, 1942, in New York City, and is currently 82. Robert Redford played Hubble Gardner, and he was 37 when the movie hit theaters. He was born on August 18, 1936, in Santa Monica, California, and is now 88. Some Kind of Wonderful came out on February 27, 1987, featuring Eric Stoltz and Mary Stuart Masterson. In this movie, Eric Stoltz took on the role of Keith Nelson at the age of 25. He was born on September 30, 1961, in Whittier, California, and is now 62. Mary Stuart Masterson played Watts. She was 20 years old at the time, born on June 28, 1966, in Los Angeles, and is now 58. Pretty in Pink, a beloved classic, was released on February 28, 1986. Molly Ringwald starred as Andy Walsh. At the time, Ringwald was 18 years old, born on February 18, 1968, in Roseville, California, and is now 56. Andrew McCarthy played Blaine McDonough. He was 23 years old in 1986, born on November 29, 1962, in Westfield, New Jersey, and is now 61. Continue with Harold and Maude, released on December 20, 1971, starred Bud Cort as Harold. Bud Cort was 23 when the film came out, having been born on March 29, 1948, in Rye, New York. He is now 76. Ruth Gordon, who played Maude, was 75 years old at the time. Born on October 30, 1896, in Quincy, Massachusetts, she passed away in 1985 at the age of 88. Flashback to Can't Buy Me Love, released on August 14, 1987, starred Patrick Dempsey as Ronald Miller. Patrick was 21 at the time, born on January 13, 1966, in Lewiston, Maine. and is now 58. Amanda Peterson played Cindy Mancini. She was 16 at the time, born on July 8, 1971, in Greeley, Colorado. Sadly, she passed away in 2015 at the age of 43. Love Story featured Ally McGraw and Ryan O'Neal on December 16, 1970. Ally McGraw played Jennifer Cavallari, and she was 31 years old at the time. She was born on April 1, 1939, in Pound Ridge, New York, and is now 85 years old. Ryan O'Neal took on the role of Oliver Barrett IV. He was 29 years old in 1970, born on April 20, 1941, in Los Angeles, California. Sadly, he passed away on December 8, 2023, due to heart failure at the age of 82. The romantic Four Weddings and a Funeral came out on January 20, 1994, featuring Hugh Grant as Charles. Hugh was 33 when the movie was released, born on September 9, 1960, in Hammersmith, London, and is now 63. Andie MacDowell played Carrie, and she was 35 at the time, born on April 21, 1958, in Gaffney, South Carolina. She is now 66. The Goodbye Girl, released on November 30, 1977, starred Richard Dreyfuss as Elliot Garfield. Dreyfuss was 30 years old at the time, born on October 29, 1947, in Brooklyn, New York, and is now 76. Marsha Mason played Paula McFadden. She was 35 in 1977, born on April 3, 1942, in St. Louis, Missouri, and is now 82. Grease, released on June 16, 1978, starred John Travolta as Danny Zuko. Travolta was 24 years old when the movie was released, born on February 18, 1954, in Englewood, New Jersey, and is now 70. Olivia Newton-John played Sandy Olsen. She was 29 at the time, born on September 26, 1948, in Cambridge, England. Sadly, Olivia passed away in 2022 after a long battle with cancer. We can't forget When Harry Met Sally, released on July 14, 1989, featured Billy Crystal as Harry Burns. Billy was 41 when the movie was released, born on March 14, 1948 in New York City, and is now 76. Meg Ryan played Sally Albright, and she was 27 years old at the time, born on November 19, 1961, in Fairfield, Connecticut. She is now 62. Last but not least, we want to tell you about Ghost, which is released on July 13, 1990, and starred Patrick Swayze as Sam Wheat. Patrick was 37 at the time, born on August 18, 1952, in Houston, Texas. Sadly, he passed away in 2009 at the age of 57. Demi Moore played Molly Jensen. Demi was 27 when the film came out, born on November 11, 1962, in Roswell, New Mexico, and is now 61.